メジャー翻訳速報。
メジャー翻訳速報海外の反応へようこそ。大谷翔平選手とフレディ・フリーマンからホームランが出るも、テオスカー・ヘルナンデスが IL 入りするなど厳しい状況。ムーキー・ベッツもスタメンから外れ、チーム状況に注目です。この試合の詳しい解説と選手たちの反応を翻訳してお届けいたします。最後までお楽しみください。コメントもどんどんお寄せくださいね。ぜひチャンネル登録もお願いします。
Welcome to our exciting Marlins Live postgame presented by Baptist Health. Third walk-off hit of his career for Jesus Sanchez. As we welcome you to our postgame show, and finally took 5 games, but the Marlins finally beat the Los Angeles Dodgers. They do it in 10 innings, and as Kelly mentioned, a week after they lost in frustrating fashion in 10 after taking the lead in Los Angeles 6-5, only to watch Edman get a 2-run walk-off single. That was last week in LA. Tonight the icy bath goes the way of the Marlins, and the skid against the Dodgers is over. They had a battle, Rod, to get this win. Craig Benavides, Rod Allen, welcome to the post-game show. This was a beauty.
Well, one of the things you and I talked about in the pregame show today, that the Marlins nearly had to play a flawless game against this Dodgers team. This Dodgers team, they're no joke. They beat them by run here tonight. We talked about the fact they had to make all the plays, they had to pitch well, and they did all of that to win this ball game.
They did. The Dodgers went 1 for 10 with runners in scoring position. A big difference from the other 4 games where they scored 41 runs. They got big outs today. The Marlins played airless baseball. And Rod, they were also 5 for 12 with runners in scoring position. So they did those key things in this game tonight.
And the bullpen was good. I mean,
yes.
Veneziano kind of stubbed his toe a little bit, but everybody else in that bullpen, they were stellar. Who came in the ball game to shut down this very good Los Angeles Dodgers team. And you talked about the clutch knocks, and how about some of the hits by Ramirez here today going the other way. I like the way they played today against a really good team, a team that really had been dominating them the entire series.
Yep, Tinoco, 2 innings to finish it off, gets the win as well. No runs, he walked 1 and struck out 2. Let's show you the 10th inning. They needed some great defense by Xavier Edwards over at shortstop. Watch how quickly he gets rid of the ball here, Rod. This is a key spot with the placed runner.
I was watching Tyler Smarslock yesterday. He was out working early with Xavier Edwards, and they were working on this exact play. So it came into fruition here in the 10th inning, especially with Paehes running down the line. Paehes can really run, but an outstanding play by X-Man.
They pitched to Freeman, but they did eventually walk him.
Sort of pitched to Freeman.
But they didn't just intentionally walk him, which we thought they might do. Instead, they go after Will Smith then, and another nice play. That ball was sharply hit up the middle.
I like Tinoco, the fact that he came in not throwing all the sliders that he normally throws. He threw Ohtani fastballs, and then he came after Smith with a 96-mile-per-hour two-seamer that was darting out of the strike zone.
That after the 1-2-3-9, so we go to the 10th. Place runner is Xavier Edwards. They walk Stowers. He means nothing here. It is a tie ball game, and Ramirez then singled, and then Jesus Sanchez with the game winner. RBI heady, 2 for 5 for Sanchez, as we mentioned, his 3rd walk-off career. Just before that, the Ramirez single, but a good call by Blake Lally to not send, even though he had a speedy runner in Edwards, with nobody out.
You saw that throw by Paehes early in the game, didn't you? He threw that ball 99 miles an hour to first base when he doubled up Dane Miller. So you're not going to run on Paehes. I don't think anybody will run on him. They're the stars of the night right there.
Good for these guys. They are Australia Insurance stars of the game. Jesus Sanchez has had a rocky return. There's no question about it. It's really good to see him feel good about helping his team win. 2 for 5 in the game, and that big RBI. It's got to be a big boost for him. He's got a lot of power and ability in that bat. We haven't seen it yet. But again, he started on the IL. We didn't see him for a while.
Well, 5-man infield. I made it pretty easy for Sanchez to smoke one right through the infield. He hits the ball extremely hard. He's going through spring training right now after pretty much starting the season on the injured list. Once he gets some more at-bats under his belt, I have a feeling that Sanchez will do some special things. He's got some special talent. That much we do know. Very few have the power that Jesus Sanchez has.
Well, Rod, the Marlins have 14 wins, and how about 5 via the walk-off?
They're hard to get, aren't they?
And we're going to revisit these because sometimes you forget. It's early in the year to have that many walk-off wins.
It
Five
ties
of
the
them
San Francisco Giants.
in this ballpark. Opening day, remember they had that 2 or 3, right, in that opening series.
He jumped on top of that
Stowers.
fastball from Bednar and smoked it down the right field corner. So no hop.
That was
Scored the
opening
winning
day.
run.
Yeah, against the Buccos, a 5-4 win, and then 2 days later, Dane Myers on the 29th of March.
It's pretty much been Stowers and Dane Myers, the guys that have been doing a lot of the damage all season long. They've both been hot.
Great moment there. And then, May 3rd here, the walk-off wild pitch, scoring Hill. And then Stowers with the slam.
That was a big one. That was a big one against Mason Miller. That fastball was 102 miles an hour, and Stowers hit it the opposite way for the big grand slam.
And then here's tonight. Jesus Sanchez, 3rd of his career. Well done here. And the Marlins with most walk-off wins since 2024. 15 of them since 2024. And 5 walk-offs this year. Only the Giants with more walk-off wins. Marlins will see them in the coming month or two when they make a trip out to San Francisco. But this is a great win for the ball club. They've been scuffling. Some of these games against the Dodgers, too, Rod, have been a little closer than the score might indicate. They had opportunities to win a few. It's got to be a big boost for them to win this one.
Well, I mean, one thing about the Los Angeles Dodgers, Dave Roberts, the manager of their team, they do not roll over. When they go up against a team that doesn't have a great record, he still gets his guys to play at an elite level, and that's a special thing for the Dodgers. They don't give away games.
No.
You earn them.
Yeah, you got to earn them. How about Liam Hicks tonight? Getting an opportunity now with 3 catchers in the mix. Not as easy to get in that starting lineup. Yes, he does. With 2 homers, 17 RBIs. The Marlins are in real good shape with their catching situation. Nick Fortes, as solid as they come, and his bat has been pretty much electric right from the start. You know what Ramirez could do. Tonight, another couple of hits for him. And Liam Hicks has been outstanding as well. And he gives you that lefty stick. So 3 catchers, not the worst scenario, especially when you DH in one effect. Mostly Ramirez, but you never know.
Well, it gives Clayton McCullough lots of options.
Yes.
I mean, you can pinch hit for guys because you know you have that 3rd catcher.
How about the Paehes throw? Let's look again at he's been a real effective player for the Dodgers. He had some big games against the Marlins so far from Havana, Cuba, but look at the throw, too. Roberto Clemente-like out there in right
This is
field.
special. This is special. I mean, look at the throw, man. This is 99 miles an hour on a clothesline. You could hang laundry on that clothesline. I mean, that is ridiculous. When he threw the ball, I said to myself, oh, my God. I mean, because usually Dane Myers is the guy that's throwing those seeds and throwing out base runners, but Paehes, he's got some kind of skill set.
You know, I didn't mind that one for Myers. I thought that's one of those. The guy makes a spectacular catch because he's going to probably score if that ball hits the wall, bangs off somewhere. I wasn't as bothered by him getting doubled up. That's a great play to me.
Well, I mean,
Would
it
you
is a
agree
good play.
or no?
It's a good play. I mean,
You want Dane to be able to get back halfway?
Man, it depends on where he's going. I mean, you never want to get doubled up. I mean, so you want to make sure the ball falls in. I'm sure that Clayton McCullough will say the same thing. You don't want to get doubled up, but I'm sure Clayton didn't have a problem with it either, just like you didn't. But I didn't expect him to throw the ball at 99 miles an hour either.
On the fly and right on the money. If it's a little bit off left and right, maybe Dane gets back in there. All right, Cal Quantrill, kind of forgotten here. Not by the Marlins. They've needed good starting pitching. Quite frankly, they haven't been able to get it. Hopefully, Perez and Weathers will help this ball club out when they return. Weathers could be sooner than later for sure. One more rehab start, perhaps. How about Quantrill tonight? 5 innings, 4 hits, Rod.
Well, one of the things that Quantrill did last Wednesday against him, he threw a lot of sinkers and he threw a lot of splitters. This time he threw more cutters and splitters. He gave up the 1 run in the very first frame. Then after that, he pretty much shut them down. He pitched a very good game, kept a lot of guys off balance. They didn't do a whole lot of damage against him. He controlled the exit velocity of the bats of the Los Angeles Dodgers tonight, and that's very difficult to do through the first 5 frames. He went through the lineup twice, then Clayton McCullough went to Veneziano. He gave up a couple of runs, but I really love the way that Quantrill went about his business this evening.
Took him out in the 6th. We illustrated that he was giving up an over 500 average in the 6th inning. It didn't work out tonight.
You're the reason why he took him out then.
I wasn't me. But you understand when you look at the numbers, the 3rd time through and all that. But Quantrill did his job tonight for the ball club and really set him up with a chance to win, because in many of these games, the Dodgers have scored so many runs early, it's been hard to chip away. And the Marlins have a few times. Hard to chip away and get back in the lead, and giving up only one in those first 5 was huge. So great win for the Marlins. First one for Clayton McCullough over his former team. Let's hear from the Marlins manager.
How do you describe this one?
I mean, it was exhilarating. I mean, it was a really fun game. I think with the number of players that contributed, both sides, offensively, on the mound, you know, to get to that point, you know, you come back, and then, you know, they fight back and they punch back, and, you know, we came back, and so there was some really terrific efforts all around, and I'm, you know, again, proud of our group for, you know, you just hang in the fight, you know, as long as you can, and give yourselves opportunities, and some really, you know, high quality at bats there at the end. And, you know, what Sanchez been grinding, working hard, and great for him to, you know, come through there for us to, you know, to win it.
It's a really total team effort, but I guess what are the big moments that stand out to you the most?
Yeah, I think it starts off, you know, I think what Cal did. I mean, he gave us 5 really strong innings out of the chute, and, you know, able to get us, you know, into that part of the game where right there we were able to take the lead, and, you know, a combination of some guys, you know, Tinoco going 2 innings there at the end, you know, Anthony as well. I thought, you know, Calvin threw the ball very well also, and, you know, then I think, Nick Fortes comes off the bench and, you know, does a great job behind the plate. Sanoha had some really good at bats. I think it's just you know, anyone that was involved in that game today, there was, you know, something they did that helped us to get this win.
How difficult was it with Cal looking like he had some of his best stuff today, just to pull him in that moment?
I think it was. I think Cal he threw the ball very well, and then he just got to a point where getting back. Spot really liked, you know, Veniciano, you know, there, and it didn't work out. But even V, you know what? I'll take a first pitch home run all day long, throwing strike one. Like we can tell him, like, you go, you know, take your chances there. Like absolutely no problem there, you know, with that. I think it was, you know, I felt like Cal had done his work for us, and we had a well-rested group down there to, you know, turn it over to, and, you know, to cover the rest of that game.
Just Sanchez always starts the season on the IL, a little bit slow start to he's the longest tenured position player, to see him maybe hopefully get going.
And he will. I mean, his track record suggests that. Sanchez been you know, a quality major league player and hitter for a number of years now, and the quality of contact. I think the last couple of days he's, you know, come out, hit early on the field, so you know, it's gonna come and it's gonna turn for him. I feel like, you know, his at bats are turning the corner some a little bit tonight. He got, you know, hang in there and get a big hit off Banda as well, you know, late in the game. So I think it's you know, Sanchez, it's coming. I think it's there, and he's in a good spot right now. Hopefully a big hit like this tonight, you know, just let you take a breath and just go and be the, you know, the player and hitter that he has been, and we know he's capable of.
How about Tinoco going 2, especially against that part of the lineup that he faced?
I mean, that's you know, Tinoco, we've, you know, we lean on him, you know, and some others, you know, a lot in some tough spots to, you know, he got through a very efficient 9th inning, so I think that, you know, gave us the, you know, felt good about sending him back out there for the 10th, and you get the automatic runner. I think, you know, the first at bat, the quality slider down and away to get the ground ball. X made a really good play on the run. Big, you know, that's a big play in the game as well. And then to, you know, get the double play from Will Smith. So I think, you know, Tino, you know, we needed every bit of it tonight, and to, in extra innings, to, you know, put up a 0 with that automatic runner there. That's, you know, such a big momentum shift, and so, you know, all around great stuff by him.
You mentioned, Nick, just the offensive contributions from Liam and Augustine.
Yeah, I mean, that's all. You know, Liam Hall, you know, just missed, you know, a multi-homer game tonight. Great play by Paehes, but really, you know, really good swings, and, you know, Augustine, you know, I guess, you know, we'll just see him continuing to grow, and I think every opportunity he gets and the experiences he gains from, you know, games like this, and, you know, getting, you know, behind the plate are only going to, you know, continue to, you know, aid in his acceleration of his development here. And I think we're, you know, it's when you can, you know, he's tough and he's not afraid of the moment, and so it's great. I mean, any of those moments he's in are just, he's just banking those as learning experiences, and they're all going to bode well for him. He's been great.
He got you the first 4 times. Obviously, your former team, a really good ball club. Were there just, was it extra special to get the first one against the Dodgers finally?
I think it was extra special for me, just how our our guys seeing a club, recency, a couple series in a row, and I think, to be right back in another highly competitive game and to kind of, take some punches and to hang in there and, plug back. Not so much that it was the Dodgers as much, our group, like just, who we're playing to just, hang in there, and that's the kind of effort it takes to, win Major League games because they're hard to come by.
Freddie, I mean, you saw plenty of that. We've seen plenty of that over the years.
Yeah, I mean, Freddie is an exceptional hitter and an exceptional baseball player, and he's been in, that and so many moments that are, that are big, that he just knows how to slow things down. He knows how to not let a moment ever get too big, and so yeah, I mean, Freddie is much more fun to watch when you're on his side than on the other side.
And that 10th, was it an intentional walk there to Freddie in the 10th, I assume?
I think Tino was trying to make some high-quality pitches, on him, and I think, Freddie, we kind of sniffed that out a little bit and locked it up some, and then once the count got, there, it felt like it was just, more prudent to just go ahead and put him on and, to give Tino a chance to get out of it with guys behind him.
To last season, and finally getting a win here over the Dodgers, who seem like, when the Marlins come to town or they come here, they really had the Marlins number and woke the bats too, which weren't explosive until they met last week, and they've been scoring a lot of runs. All right, Ohtani tonight. He had a great night. He had a homer, he had a double, and yet Cal Quantrill will say, I did pretty well against you too. I struck you out 2 times. How about this pitch by pitch?
He went at him with a first pitch fastball, and I thought that Quantrill was going to throw more fastballs here, and I think that the leadership skills by Hicks were tremendous. They looked like they knew Ohtani was looking for something soft, and they went right after him, and they finished him off with a fastball. And then the next time that Ohtani comes to the dish, it's totally different as far as the way that they attack him. When you go up against guys that are potential Hall of Famers, you got to go after them different ways, and that's exactly what they were able to do with Ohtani today, and he contained him for the most part.
Yeah, got him nicely on the splitter this time. So he struck him out in the first and then gets him on the splitter. Look at the movement on that pitch. Might have been his best pitch of the game.
Fastball, though, was the first time, and then the splitter was the last time.
And then in the 6th inning, Veneziano comes in. I was talking to Anthony the other day. He said, I gave him a double up last year in that game where he hit 3 homers, but not a homer. He got him out in L.A., I think twice. But today, Ohtani made him pay first hitter he saw in the 6th.
Well, Ohtani's a smart hitter, and he probably knew exactly what Veneziano was going to do because he had a little bit of success against him. And Ohtani hits one 400 feet up into the second deck with a launch angle of 33 degrees.
Look at this here, the apex double and then some. 50-footer in terms of the maximum height yesterday. Tonight, 115. It was a shot upstairs. The ball was thrown back to a fan up there as well. Here's the 7th inning. Now this spot, you want the strike call here.
Yeah, you should want this. It's a strike.
Right there in the corner, well framed, does not get the call. That's frustrating. That's baseball. O'Shea trying to get him out. Remember, there's a runner on base here. And what happens? Shohei makes you pay. Gets the double down the line, drives in the go-ahead run.
You cannot give guys like Ohtani extra pitches, and that's exactly what he was able to get there. Eric Bacchus was the home plate umpire. That was a strike. Kim, with all his speed, was running on the pitch, which meant he was able to come all the way and score. And Ohtani just doing Ohtani kind of thing.
That tied the game, actually, Rod. That was the 4-4. Then 9th inning, Tinoco's in. Boy, did he look good tonight.
Threw a lot of hard stuff at him. 4 pitches were all fastballs. And then he sped his bat up, and then he slowed it back down with a breaking ball. That was a tremendous pitch sequence by Tinoco. 4 sinkers, 96, 96, 97, and then he throws the breaking ball up there to get him out on that front foot to get him out. That was great execution.
Very well done, and not an easy 3-1 put out either. That was well played, as you mentioned. Great execution to beat.
They played a good baseball game.
Ohtani hustles out of the box too. He's not going softly just because it was a soft ground ball to first base. Able to get him out. Big out there in a 1-2-3 ninth for Tinoco, who deservedly gets the victory. But it was set up by Cal Quantrill. 5 innings against the red-hot Dodgers, allowed only 1 run. Let's hear from him.
Cal, facing this lineup once is hard enough, doing it twice even harder, but better the second time for you. What was different?
Yeah, I think we executed at a higher rate today. I thought Hicksy and I were on the same page, probably as good as we've been this year. Splitter was a big step in the right direction this week, and yeah, I thought we were ahead. And we finished them when we had a chance, and kind of kept them on their their back foot, and felt pretty good about it.
Stuff-wise, is this the best that you've felt this season?
Yeah. Obviously, this is not the start that I was hoping for, or at least April wasn't. But a lot of work between starts to get back to where I think I can be, and I think today was closer. There's still some stuff I'd like to get ironed out, but I thought we were much more competitive today, and I think we made a lot more quality pitches than we didn't.
What was the main focus coming into this one with the work that you just described?
Yeah, I think bringing the work into the game. It's like, having a lot of really good pens, but maybe not quite bringing it into the game, or, having one pitch drastically change the outcome of a game. So today it was start to finish, kind of bringing the quality that we have been working at, and I think we did a pretty good job.
I know your cutter was your most thrown pitch. Was that maybe the one you were feeling the most, or just the way to attack this lineup? Or?
Yeah, I don't think we went in with the plan of that being true. I think it was just, they featured a heavy lefty lineup today. It was good to start, so we kind of stuck with it. But I think, Hicksy and I had some good chats before the game about kind of just letting the hitters dictate kind of what we wanted to do instead of getting caught up with, a plan that we can't change.
You mentioned Hicks a couple times in spring as well. You said you guys kind of good rapport. What is it about it, other than maybe both being Canucks?
Yeah, that's my Canadian guy. No, I just, I appreciate my catchers. I think he's worked really hard. And he's got the vast majority of my games so far as a Marlin. And, I think it's just important to make sure they know that they're loved, they're recognized. They work real hard back there, and he had the bonus of also hitting a pretty important homer today. So good day for him.
I know you're a veteran, you've been doing this for a while, and have even had success against Ohtani, but does it ever get old when you find success against one of the best to ever do it?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the most exciting parts of continuing to play every year, right? Is facing the best guys, and, he's certainly one of the best. So I think I've had a fair amount of success against him. I'm sure he's got a couple hits, but yeah, anytime you can get him out, it's important, but most importantly is getting through the whole lineup. So I thought getting him out to start the game is always just like, move on to the next guy.
Welcome to Access Sportsnet Dodgers. I'm John Hartung alongside Jerry Harrison Jr., Nomar Garcia-Parra. The Dodgers walked off in Miami. They let a couple of different leads get away in this game, and they got home runs from Shohei Ohtani, Freddie Freeman. But when you have Mookie Betts not in the starting lineup, Teoscar Hernandez going on the IL, Tommy Edman already on the IL, you really need other guys in the lineup, Jerry, to come through. And you look at 5 through 9 in the order. They combined to go 1 for 16. And with runners in scoring position tonight, they were just 1 for 10.
Yeah, and that's not a recipe for success. You got to be able to capitalize on those opportunities. That 1 for 10, they know that's not going to get it done. Listen, credit the Marlins. They're a scrappy team. They're a young team, and they have their Dodgers at their home ballpark, so you're going to get their very best shot.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, they fought back. There's no doubt about that, the Marlins, and I think that, the way they fought back, they deserved to win that game, and they pulled that off. But I think if the Dodgers will look back at, did we have opportunities really to put them away? They did. I think they did early in the game. Over the course of the game, when you are 1 for 10, you had some opportunities to runners in scoring position and knock them in, and you really just couldn't get that final blow. I think you got some blows there, and you got some runs there that you were able, but they were still close enough to try to come back there.
Well, the Dodgers started off this 10-game road trip, season-high 10-game road trip, with the most used bullpen in all of Major League Baseball, Nomar, and we're halfway through this 10-game road trip, and you can see they are absolutely taxed in that bullpen. So they call up J.P. Fireisen today, a guy that they claimed off of waivers 5 days ago, and he was not able to get the outs that they needed there at the bottom of the 10th inning.
Yeah, and it is, listen, it's a tough situation to come in. I mean, here you're coming in, and obviously there's the ghost runner at second base that they end up putting on there. And, because it's the extra innings, and your team also doesn't score in the inning before. So you're going, okay, I really got to keep that in there. And not only that, they intentionally walk, try to keep the double play. So you have a lot going on. You're like, man, I just got to try to make a pitch. Maybe I can get that ground ball. Maybe I get the double play. They hit the ball hard. So that's just a tough situation. But I think, as you mentioned, the Dodgers right now, they're looking for arms right now. We know the bullpen has been taxed. And once again, right now, they are just increasing the amount of innings in their lead in Major League Baseball as far as work is concerned.
Yeah, it is concerning. I mean, let's make no mistake about it. We're not even in June yet. We just started the month of May, and this bullpen is taxed. And really, for JP, it's a tough situation to come in. And I think that's the issue. We failed to score with that ghost runner on second base at the top of the 10th inning. You got to find a way to get that run across, at least get one run, so you can have some sort of defense in the bottom of the 10th inning. But once we didn't score, they're just working on one run. And again, what's just a tough situation for him to be in. So back to the bullpen. We got to figure out a way to get guys to pitch deeper in the ball games. I know Tony pitched well tonight. I was hoping he'd give us 6, maybe 7, especially the way he pitched against the Marlins his very first outing. That didn't happen. But again, we got to get this rested for the bullpen. Got to get these guys rested because it's a long, long season, a long grind.
Yeah. All right, Dodgers fall in Miami in extra innings. Let's head back to the booth. Check in one final time with Steven Nelson and Eric Karros. Carl's Jr. moments of the game. And at the time, Nomar, we thought this might be the play of the game. Bottom of the 8th, bases loaded, 1 out. Anthony Banda is in a mess, but he gets out of it with a double play ball.
I mean, this was huge right here. Nice play by Max Muncy because this was a rocket at the hot corner. Makes a play, fires it home. Great job by Will Smith on the transition to get the out at first base. You look for momentum shifts. This was definitely one. Built on the Dodgers side, and you're thinking, okay, the Dodgers can be able to pull this out. Just unlucky.
All right, Dodgers walked off in Miami 5-4 the final. Let's go back to Lone Depot Park and hear from Shohei Ohtani with Kirsten and the media.
Shohei, ahead of the game, we obviously heard the news of Teoscar going on the IL. Just when you are in the position of looking to kind of put more runs on the board when you are without a guy who has been such an RBI producer, do you feel there's more pressure just with your at-bats? And obviously we saw the home run. What are you feeling in those moments with that news?
怪我の影響でちょっと自身にプレッシャーかかるっていう感じはしますか？
もちろん全員が最後まで怪我なくできればそれに越したことはないですよ。必ず長いシーズンなので、抜ける時っていうのは、短いのか長いのか別としてそういう時は来ると思うので、そういう意味ではやっぱり今日もなんとか勝ちたかったですけど、最後はああいう形になってしまって、もう少し早めにこう攻めながら点数を取っていければまたちょっと違ったのかなと思います。
In an ideal situations, you never want to be put on the IL, but it's a long season, so it's part of the game. Whether that be a short stint or a long stint, it's something that we can't really control. In terms of today's game, if we added a little bit more runs here and there, I think it would have things would have turned more favorably for us. Yeah.
What has been better about your swing this week, and does hitting a home run like that in the 6th just kind of show you that it's in a good spot?
スイングはどういう感覚で、どう解説されているんですか？
もう基本的にバランスよく立って、あとはもう自分の体に任せていくっていうのが理想の形ではあるので、もちろんそういう打席が毎回多いわけではないですし、そこでシチュエーションによって例えばセンターに狙うのか引っ張るのか、そういう工夫次第でヒットの確率が上がるのかなと思ってます。
Right now, I feel pretty balanced overall, and I let the body take over. And the only adjustment that I'm doing right now is whether I hit it to center field or pull or go the other way.
いかがでしたか？今回のドジャース対マーリンズ戦。接戦の末に5対4で敗れてしまいました。大谷選手の高さ50フィートを超える見事なホームランが印象的でしたが、チーム全体としては得点圏での打撃が課題となりました。特に5番から9番打者の奮起が今後必要になりそうです。インタビューで、調子が良くなってきている、と語った大谷選手の今後の活躍にも期待したいですね。次回もドジャースの最新情報をお届けします。この動画が面白かったと思った方はチャンネル登録、高評価お願いいたします。ご視聴ありがとうございました。